Good evening to all of you, and let's continue with our lesson number 10, which is cell and cell organelle. In this particular chapter, till now, we have learned different type of cells. We went through what is a prokaryotic cell, what is eukaryotic cell, what is the difference between a plant and animal cell, and now we have started learning one cell organelles. We first started with cell wall, then cell membrane, and then we also studied how is movements of different molecules taking place inside and outside of the cell, under which we have learned two different topics. One is by active and one is by passive transport through the cell membrane, in which we have learned diffusion, we have learned osmosis. We also saw an experiment in which we used two different sugar solutions. Yes, and we saw how the molecules move from an area or from a point of higher concentration to a point of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Now, after studying cell wall and cell membrane, let's come to the hero of the cell. Yes, we all know what are we talking about. The hero of the cell is the nucleus of the cell. Now, in the slide which is present, the orange color cell organelle is nothing but a nucleus which is cut open, inside which you also have one more spherical ball-like structure, which is nothing but nucleolus. The entire nucleus part has been highlighted with a bracket. Now, let's understand nucleus in stepwise manner. Before that, please remember, as you can see through a flow from right to left hand side, nucleus is connected to this purple color cell organelle called as endoplasmic reticulum, which is exactly to the left of the nucleus and also connected to the external membrane of the nucleus. Right after the endoplasmic reticulum, we have green and yellow color bag-like structure. This bag-like structure is nothing but another cell organelle called as Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. We will learn all of this one by one, but first let's understand what is nucleus. Now, in the given diagram which is present to you, it's nothing but a single cell, and at the center of the cell, a spherical structure which is present, that's nothing but our nucleus. Now, in the next slide, let's just highlight the nucleus and let's just see how nucleus looks like. Wonderful, right? But is it plain? Is it circular? Certainly not. That means it has something inside it. And we are going to study what is present inside the nucleus. In the given diagram, what you have is nothing but a section of nucleus. Let's understand the diagram from outside to inside. Understand, point number one, nucleus is a spherical cell organelle which will be double membraned structure. That means it will have two layers, and the outer layer will have lot of pores on it. What is the meaning of pores? Pores means small holes on its external membrane. Therefore, the outermost membrane of nucleus is also called as nuclear membrane. And since nuclear membrane has lot of pores, it is also called as porous in nature. So on the screen, the external pink color line which you are able to see is, is not a continuous line. It will have lots of break in between. And between those breaks, the labeling, the very first label has been given as pores, which you can see exactly at 12 o'clock position. So this pores will allow the material to enter the nucleus and to exit from the nucleus. Therefore, we can also say that nuclear membrane will also do the selection of molecules which can enter and which can exit from the nucleus. Okay. Now, if we think about a cell, Inside the cell membrane, whatever liquid and cell organelles we have, we call it as cytoplasm. Correct? Similarly, inside the nuclear membrane, whatever things are present is called as nucleoplasm. You can see nucleoplasm given as the second label at 1 o'clock position. Now, if you remember the last diagram, which was the cell organelle attached to the nucleus? I'm waiting for your answers. Which was the cell organelle directly attached to the nucleus? Or you can say which was a connection with nuclear membrane. Correct. Endoplasmic reticulum. Therefore, if you have any extension just connected to your nuclear membrane, that is nothing but endoplasmic reticulum. Remember this. Okay. Now, at the center of nucleus, you will have a small structure which will be also spherical in nature. That part of the nucleus will be called as nucleolus. How do we pronounce it as? Nu, nu, C-L-E, cle, O is pronounced as simple O and L-U-S as last. So it is pronounced as nucleolus. Next, as we said that nucleus is having two membranes, or I can say two layers. Let's divide it as one as outer membrane and one as inner membrane. So now if I'm asking you a question, what is other name for outer membrane of nucleus? Your answer will be, what is another name for outermost membrane of nucleus? Correct. The outermost layer of nucleus will be called as nuclear membranes. Very good. Now, the small dot-like structure given in light pink color, these are nothing but very, very fine thread-like structure. Have you ever seen a fish food, especially the worms? Making a very indefinite kind of ball-like structure. Yes. Can you separate it very nicely? No, they're very much intertwined between them. Exactly how this thread-like material will be present inside the nucleus. And this thread-like material is very important. Why? Because this material is called as chromatin material, which is nothing but DNA. This thread-like material, which is present inside the nucleus, each and every nucleus, is called as chromatin material, which is nothing but our DNA. And every cell in the body will have a nucleus, and every nucleus will have such chromatin material inside them. Now, what is the function of chromatin material and everything? You will be learning this in your 9th and your 10th standard as well. Remember, this is very, very important part. And if you continue learning biology, you will have to learn it more times. Yes, the full form or the abbreviation of DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid. So our DNA is nothing but a nucleic acid. Fine. And outside the nucleus, what will be present outside the nucleus? Exactly, cytoplasm, which is nothing but the cellular fluid plus cell organelles. Right? So I hope the diagram is nicely understood to all of you. So now let's move on to characteristics of nucleolus or nucleus. Okay, before that, this is the diagram which is given to you in your textbook. So entire nucleus is bluish in color as it is given in textbook. It is not ideally blue in color. If you will see the external or the outermost membrane, it has got minute pore-like structure called as nuclear pores. Outermost membrane is labeled as nuclear membrane. On the left hand side, a small part of the nucleus has been shown cut open for us to understand that a nucleolus is present inside nucleus. And the thread-like material, which I was just talking about, is so thin, it's so fine that we cannot see it through a normal microscope. Therefore, the labeling is given as chromatin, but you are not able to see in the diagram. Okay, now there's one more doubt on the chat box. Ki, ma'am, is there anything inside the purple ball? First of all, please don't call it as purple ball. Its name is nucleolus. What is present inside nucleolus? So let me quickly tell you the function of nucleolus. There is one cell organelle called as ribosome, small dot-like things which you will see anytime whenever you will observe a cell. This dotted structure is nothing but ribosomes, and ribosomes are produced by nucleolus. So imagine nucleolus will produce ribosomes. They will slowly travel in the nucleoplasm, which is this space, and slowly they will come out of the nucleus from the nucleus pore, and they will get attached to endoplasmic reticulum. It is like something is produced in the factory and it is moving from one unit to another unit, second unit to third unit. Okay. Now let's understand characteristics of nucleolus. Extremely simple since we have understood the diagram. I request all the students to please check whether their video is switched on or not. Let's move. So what is nucleus made up of? Point number one, it is made up of nuclear envelope. What is nuclear envelope? The external two membranes which I was talking about, that is outer and inner membrane. Those two membranes together are called as nuclear envelope. I'm repeating once again. We have just seen in the diagram that nucleus has two membranes, right? So both these two membranes together will be called as nuclear envelope. Therefore, nucleus is made up of nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, that is the liquid and everything inside the nucleus, nucleolus, the small spherical ball which we just saw, which was purple in color in the last diagram, and chromatin network, or you can also call it as chromatin material, which is nothing but DNA, very, very fine thread-like thin material. Okay. Ayushi, please switch off your video. Thank you. Moving on to the second point, just as I mentioned, nuclear envelope. It is nothing but double-walled membrane of nucleus. It has two membranes. One is the outer membrane and second one is the inner membrane. Point number 4, nucleus contains pore. These pores are called as nuclear pores. I hope all points are clear till now. Yes? Okay, good. So let's move on the next slide. Now let's understand what all things are present in nucleoplasm. So nucleoplasm will contain various substances like nucleic acid. What is nucleic acid? I had just mentioned. DNA is one type of nucleic acid. We also have one more type of nucleic acid called as RNA, which is ribose nucleic acid. So remember, nucleoplasm will have nucleic acid, various type of proteins, minerals, and salt. It will also contain chromatin network and nucleolus. Now, what is chromatin network? Remember, chromatin network is also called as chromatin fiber or chromatin material. Okay. Now, what happens? Do you know that each and every cell is going to divide? Cell divides? Yes or no? Yes. Cell definitely divides. Correct? Yes. So during the cell division, everything inside the cell needs to be divided very, very equally. Correct? So let's see what happens. So this is a nucleus. And inside the nucleus, as I said, there will be such thin thread-like material to which we call it as chromatin material, right? And there will be also presence of nucleolus. Correct? Now, what happens when this cell is about to start its division? The thread-like material which is present inside the nucleus will start condensing. What do you mean by condensing? The threads are going to come closer to each other. So they will look something like this. Okay, that's the first stage. Later on, these threads will condense very tightly. Now tell me, out of these three different changes, which is the type which is clearly visible? A, B, or C? So let me first clear you which is A, which is B, and which is C. So if I'm talking about these threads, which are very loosely coiled, that will be A. Here it will be B, and here it will be C. Tell me which type of threads are very clearly visible. No, it is C, because when you look from microscope, if they are very, very thin, will they be able to look properly? No. So don't you think C is giving a better understanding that yes, something is present? Because they're coming closer to each other, all these threads, they are forming a different structure, right? So can I say among A, B, and C, C is the one which is more clearly visible? Yes. So when this chromatin material comes into the form of C, we call it with a different name. And what is this different name? This different name is called as chromosome. Yes, you heard me right. This shape, whenever the chromatin material comes in this specific shape, we call it as chromosomes. Correct? And these chromosomes will have tiny, tiny packets. Packets which, and these tiny packets will be called as genes. Yes, I know everything is new to you. So we'll again understand it one by one. This entire thing is nucleus. The red loosely packed structure is nothing but chromatin material. Pink color one is our nucleolus. When the cell is about to divide, this chromatin material will undergo change. What change will happen? They will become, they will undergo condensation and they will look something like B. Then this B structure will condense more and it will look something like C. And when it takes such shape, we call it as chromosome. These chromosomes will have tiny, tiny packets, which will, which is nothing but the genetic material of the body. Okay, it's the same thing which is passed on from one generation to another generation. The reason why we look little similar like our parents, that's because of genes. Correct? Is this understood to everyone? Yes, very good. Sounds interesting. New topics too. Okay, great. Now let's continue with our point where we were. So we have completed 2 points. That means nucleolus contains various substances like nucleic acids, proteins, minerals, salts, and it also contains chromatin network and a nucleolus. Now let's understand the third and the very important point which I've just taught you. Now the third point explains that chromatin fibers are thin thread-like structures which condense to form short, thick chromosomes at the time of cell division. Is the meaning of third point now understood to you? Come on, give me a thumbs up quickly. Yes, these chromatin fibers are nothing but thin thread-like structures which will condense to form short, thick chromosomes at the time of cell division. And the next point is functional segments of chromosomes are called as genes. Very good. Now, if nucleus is nicely understood, let's understand the functions. What does the nucleus do? Number one, it controls all metabolic activities of the cell. That means, as I said, nucleus is nothing but hero of the cell. So it will control, just like the brain controls the entire body. Similarly, nucleus will control the cell, which process will take place and when. Okay? And it will also be in the charge of cell division. Second point, it is also involved in transmission of hereditary characters from parents to offspring. How? Because if the cells are going to divide, they will also divide the genetic material which is present inside the nucleus of the cell. Correct? That is how genes are passed from one cell to another cell. Okay, and here we complete with the nucleus part. And I hope video of nucleus is already shown to all of you. Now let's move on to the connecting cell organelle, which is endoplasmic reticulum. Now, as we know, endoplasmic reticulum is nothing but zigzag bag-like lines. And to be very specific, it is directly attached to nuclear envelope. So the diagram which you are able to see on the screen, you will be able to see a bowl-like structure. This bowl-like structure is nothing but half-cut nucleus, of which and all nucleoplasm has been ignored for a while so that we are able to understand the diagram in a better way. Now, let's understand what is present or answer my question quickly. Which is the part inside the nucleus responsible for production of ribosomes? Which part inside the nucleus is responsible for production of ribosomes? Correct answer. Nucleolus, the same purple color organelle which we just saw. So nucleolus, which is present inside the nucleus, is going to produce ribosomes. अब ये ribosomes nucleus के बाहर कैसे आएंगे? How will they take an exit from nucleus? Number one, through nuclear pore, and number two, they can enter the pathway where endoplasmic reticulum is attached. Okay, so in the diagram, the purple color spots which you are able to see attached on this bag like structure are nothing but ribosomes. Okay, so let's understand what is endoplasmic reticulum actually and what is the work of endoplasmic reticulum. Let's look into the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. Number one, are you able to see two different types? See, one has got all dotted structure on it, and on the upper part you will have a very smoother one without any ribosomes attached to it. Can you differentiate between two types of ER? One present on the upper side and one on the bottom side. Yes. So the endoplasmic reticulum, to which we also called as ER, the one endoplasmic reticulum which will have lots of ribosomes attached, which is giving that uneven surface, will be called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the other one, which is present on the upper side, where ribosomes are completely absent, which gives a nice smoother texture, that endoplasmic reticulum will be called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, well, let's understand. Are you able to see this gap inside the ER, orangish in color? Yes, more like a zigzag pathway. As if you are riding a road which is from nucleus towards outside of the cell. So don't you think at that time your endoplasmic reticulum is acting like a highway, like an inward highway present inside the cell? Yes, it is making the path very, very clear. Correct? So all these roads of the ER, which are filled with little bit of fluid and the space, this road or this orangish structure, which is actually hollow, will be called as cisternal space. So each one bag or each one fold will be called as cisterna. Many folds will be called as cisternae, and the space inside. So it is nothing looking like a purse. Imagine a purse, a lady's purse, typical lady's purse. Okay. So whatever you have inside the purse, the space to keep in the belongings will be called as cisternal space. Each one purse like structure or folding will be called as cisterna, and many purses together, that means many cisterna together, will be called as cisternae. So ribosomes comes from here, gets attached, and it moves throughout the entire endoplasmic reticulum. Finally, it goes till smooth ER, and from there, these ribosomes are going to take an exit. How will this happen? We will quickly learn it. Okay, before that, let's understand the structure verbally. So it is nothing but a cell organelle which conducts various substance inside the cell and is called as endoplasmic reticulum, just like highway. It is doing the work of conduction. यहाँ से वहां चीजों को ट्रांसपोर्ट करने के लिए it is giving that space available. Second thing, it has a net-like structure consisting of interconnected miniature tube and sheets filled with fluid. Now, what is the meaning of this sentence? Let's understand. Are this ER very even? Is it very straight? No, right? It is curved and twisted. So this curved and twisted is making a net-like connection. And at the bottom, नीचे से ये सब कुछ connected है, just like pipelines. Have you seen a building's pipeline from outside? सबके किचन का एक आउटलेट रहेगा. ठीक है, every restroom is going to have an outlet. Similarly, all these bag like structures or all the cisternae will be connected from bottom pipelines. That is what the second point is talking about. So I'm reading the second point once again. It has a net like structure consisting of interconnected miniature matlab छोटे छोटे tubes and sheets filled with fluid. Now let's talk about the purse like thing. flattened and hollow folds and sacs are called as cisternae. Look at the spelling. C-I-S, cis, T-E-R, ter, N-A-E becomes ne. Cisternae is a plural term and cisterna is a singular term. Now, the last point, there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum, also called as RER. And there's second type, which is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum, also called as SER. Now, look in the small diagram which is given to you. The first one, curved manner, is nothing but your RER, that's your rough endoplasmic reticulum. Immediately usko chipka hua tube-like structure is your SER. Now let's understand the function. So whatever molecules like proteins, for them, rough ER or complete ER is acting like an intracellular highway. It helps to let these proteins move from one place to other place. And the ER also gives a very good support to the cell, and whatever toxins that have entered the cell, either through food, through water, through air, all these harmful substances are made soluble by ER. And after that, they are flushed outside the cell. Okay? So that's all about the functions of ER. Now, here you need to understand something very, very clearly. Now, looking into this diagram, on the left side, the red color thing which is given to you is nothing but two membranes of nucleus. So I can say that's nothing but nuclear envelope. The second orangish color which you are able to see is nothing but your rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the third thing which you are able to see, there are small sac-like structure which are moving out. So what is exactly happening? Let's study them one by one. As I had said, that the nucleus ke andar there will be nucleolus, which will do the work of production of ribosomes. And if you will read your textbook, you will get a better word called as synthesize. The meaning of the word synthesize is to produce, right? So ribosomes, which are present on the ER, that is rough ER, will make proteins. And these proteins will be packed into a small bag-like structure, the green color ones. These are nothing but vesicles, and because they transport from one place to other place, they are called as transport vesicles. ये transport vesicles कहाँ जाएंगे? They will go and meet at Golgi, and endoplasmic reticulum will work with Golgi ताकि जो भी proteins बने हैं वो अपने अपने destinations पे बराबर से पहुंचे. Okay, so we are stopping the lecture right here.